Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Frostpunk. I know we just finished a campaign not too long ago, but I've been having a lot of fun with Frostpunk, and I got the bit between my teeth, and I just want to keep going. So hopefully you guys want to keep watching it. Now, since some new features were added into Endless Mode, and that was the final expansion of the game, so presumably Endless Mode's not going to be changing anytime soon, if ever again, I think this would be a very good opportunity to go ahead and introduce Endless Mode into the channel. Now, there are three different types of Endless Mode that you can play with. One is Serenity, which is kind of like SimCity, but in Frostpunk. It's nice and mild, and you can just build to your heart's content. Kind of nice. The Builders makes you build a generator and then survive, pretty difficult. And then finally Endurance, where every couple of weeks there is going to be a massive storm, kind of like there is at the end of the vanilla-based scenario. So this is a very, very challenging way to play the game. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing today, Endurance. Now, we have several different maps we could choose from, including some that are very familiar, such as the crater. Flats is like a really big crater, good for building a huge city, but the resources are kind of spread out. We have a canyon, kind of like what we just played in the last campaign. The crags, which has a lot of giant rocky outcrops that break up your buildings. Kind of fun. Frozen Grove, the snow drifts, the hanging rock, which is also fairly vanilla. And then there's the rifts. Now, this was introduced, I would say, a few months ago as kind of its own standalone DLC, and I think, to date, it is the most difficult of all of the Endless Mode maps. Initially, we will start off on a small little platform like so, and in order to continue expanding and gathering more resources, we will need to build very expensive bridges between platforms. Yeah, a little bit tricky to work with, and that's why we are once again going to be playing with the most difficult map I can think of. And for our difficulty, medium difficulty, probably pretty challenging, but I'm not going to do that. Hard difficulty? Nah, let's go straight to extreme. Extreme people's needs, extreme economic issues, extreme attitude issues. And of course, we're going to have random hazards on because I need this on in order to use settlements. Now, this is a new feature that was just added in to Endless Mode, where we can trade with other settlements just like we did in the last campaign. So I have to have random hazards on in order to use settlements. Should be kind of fun. So, extreme difficulty, rifts in endurance mode. Yep, this is going to be brutal. Let's give it a go. And here we go. Now, I think a lot of the maps end up being somewhat randomly generated, but in this case, I think, could be wrong, but I think that the Rifts map is the same every time. Now, as far as a name, I've been thinking about this a little bit. Since we are surrounded by a bunch of creepy-looking ravines, I think it would be kind of cool to call this the Scar. That is going to be the name of my settlement in the ravine, in the Scar. All right. Now, let's take a quick look here. So, I'm pretty sure in the couple of times I have loaded up this map in order to find out what it's going to be like, that the map is the same every time, at least as far as I can tell it is. Maybe there are a couple of minor differences here and there, I don't know, but it seems like we always start with the same base resources, the same platform already connected, and things like the iron ore deposits or the frozen forests are always going to be located in the same place as well. For example, right over here is an iron ore deposit, which we would need to access if I wanted to place down a steelworks, and that kind of a thing. Also, I think we have like a frozen forest over here. There's some coal mines off in the corner, etc., etc. Yeah, this is going to end up being a little bit rough. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, if you don't mind, is just save my game real quick. There we go, because I am not above save scumming a little bit in Endless Mode if I have to in order to learn a lesson if I think it's not recoverable. But I don't want to do that as a general rule. Like, if I make a tiny little mistake, it's just not fun to reload and save scum too often here, because the part of the game is just kind of making mistakes and learning how to recover from them, right? At least that's what I am trying to do. All right, so let's see. Right now we are starting off at only -4 degrees Fahrenheit. That is relatively warm, all things considered. It is going to be getting colder in a couple of days, and then a lot colder shortly after that. So we do have to be prepared for some heating necessary down over here. In the meantime, though, what we can do is go ahead and start gathering up some of the wooden crates that I am going to need in order to place down a handful of resource depots, and we will use them to start gathering up as much as we can while keeping people plenty insulated. Now, I do have 15 engineers to start us off and 50 workers, 15 children. We will likely be putting them to work at some point. I do want to get a workshop up and running ASAP, though. Now, let's actually plan this out a little bit. I think we're going to place the Let's see. Workshop probably right along the edge right here. And I know this means getting rid of some trees, but I think that there is going to end up being enough wood to not really be much of an issue. Now let's go ahead and get rid of this. It's not really going to cost me anything. And then run right there should be okay. All right, so that's how I want to place my workshops. Just trying to make sure that I spread these out accordingly. Reason I'm placing these out here is these guys have better insulation than tents, and I'm probably not going to have the resources to build many bunkhouses in the early game. So anything with pretty decent insulation I may want to keep a little bit further away. Now, I do want to send, let's say, a few engineers to go and gather up. What do I want? Just only wood, I think? Let's see. What does it take to get a resource depot again? Or a gathering post, sorry. That takes a little bit of steel and some wood. Okay. Well, we can afford to get, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 workers over here, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 engineers over here. Gather up some more, but I want all 10 to work on getting this workshop up and running as fast as possible. Hey, we've secured our first bridge. There it is. We built the first bridge. Great. I don't remember doing that, but I'm glad to hear it. Thanks to this construction, we'll be able to reach distant resources. Now, I kind of want to gather resources that are further away a little bit faster if possible, just because while the temperature is this high and it's only chilly on the map, then it would be nice to clear out some of the stuff that's far away so I can possibly control anything close by with heating zones. That said, to be honest, I'm not sure how much it's going to end up mattering. We will certainly see. We do need to go to our laws pretty much first thing, and we will grab the emergency shift. Now, I don't plan on making use of this because I don't want anyone to plop over dead. That said, if I find myself desperate for resources, it could certainly be quite nice. Let's go ahead and get some engineers assigned to the workshop. Now, as far as our technology is concerned, we could go for the faster gathering first, and I do think I like the idea of doing that, so we can clear out some of these resources faster, get more of the gathering posts, clear everything out as quickly as possible, and then move on to other platforms. That said, I am going to need to get the beacon very soon as well and start scouting, because I know in 14 days a storm is going to be approaching, and it's going to wipe out everything on the map outside and reset the entire map. I want to explore as much as we can between those storms, which means we are going to need to get the beacon sooner rather than later. So that's why I am going for that. Let's see, a gathering post. If I were to set one up over here real quick, for example, we can actually gather from all of these sites pretty darn quickly, and I'll end up tearing this down soon. But let's go ahead and place one of these down right now. I want to get some more resources together, and we do want to get ourselves another one of those workshops. I'd like to have 2 sets of engineers working, if at all possible, because yeah, we want to get as much research going as possible, get those beacons going, and having 2 sets of engineers working is going to be so much faster than only 1. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing that. We're going to go ahead and pull these guys off over here so we can build up the gathering post a lot faster, like so. And then I'm going to assign 10 workers over here. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull you guys off over here and assign you like that. Okay. The engineers should already be working over here, but we're going to get a quick road. I think a road right along here is probably the better way to go, so we'll do that. Okay. Now, I know we haven't built any houses, and that's because I'm waiting for a pop-up, which I think I see right here. We could place down houses, and we know everyone is going to need that. Yes, that's very, very important. However, if we wait until they request houses, then once I do what I was already going to do, I'm going to get some hope as well, which is perfect. So I'm going to say that in the next 2 days, I'm going to be building shelter for everyone. That is already the plan. Let's also turn on the generator because people will start congregating here overnight, and I want to prevent as many people from getting sick as I can. Let's actually go to our health and probably place down a medical post, or do we want to go for the housing right away? Probably don't need to go for the housing immediately. That said, I do think, let's see, these guys are already coming back from their work shift. We don't want to do the emergency shifts because I can't afford to risk anybody getting sick out in the cold right now. That's just not an option. So once they're done with this, I need all of them to basically be coming home. We will assign some more engineers here. That's going to be fine. And yeah, let's go ahead and place down a medical post. I think one right around over here should be fine. We want one of those, and people can build that tonight. And then we're going to need to get another gathering post, probably one right down over here, and maybe one up over here, actually, so we can gather things a little faster, too. Though, honestly, with the temperature as high as it is, maybe that's not as high of a priority. That said, I don't think we need houses quite this second. It's tempting, but not strictly important. My question is, where may I be placing down some of these roads, as I want to be somewhat efficient with this. Let's think for a second. I'm going to temporarily cancel this, just temporarily. And let's think about where I want to place down, let's say, some tents. One goes here, 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 and here. If I place like this, and then I were to place a gathering post right along over here is pretty efficient overall. Do something kind of like this. This kind of works, actually. Yeah, I'll place one down right there, and I can have a road that extends. It's not quite right, though. Hang on. Getting this right is going to be important. It sounds stupid, I know, but every little bit of wood you're able to preserve is going to be that much more crucial. So let's see. What about this? It's still a little bit off. All right, tell you what. How about something a little bit better? Let's just go ahead and build off of the street like this. There we go. Okay. And then can I place down a gathering post in the place that's going to get everything I want? The answer is yes. Okay, there we go. That's what we are looking to do. We can cancel this house and save some of the lumber. I don't plan on using it right now. I think it's okay for people to build a little bit overnight. That's not too big of a deal. Let's use the overdrive and really ramp up the temperature over here so that anyone who is in this area is going to be extremely warm, and their chances of getting sick are going to be very, very low. Medical post is done. I'm pretty sure some people will get sick no matter what my best efforts are, so having some engineers ready to go in the medical post will be nice, but if no one gets sick, hey, that would also be great. Is anyone willing to do things like that? No, probably not. Oh, okay. Was worth a shot, wasn't it? I think so. All right, so we're going to have this gathering post up and running. Let's see. We can pull some people off of the steel. That's not going to be absolutely crucial. Let's send them over here instead. We'll start gathering from this area. There will be some nice insulation, so people will be staying fairly warm during their workday. Not too much issue here. And yeah, we did get our first couple of sick people. It's pretty much inevitable. Some people will get sick, and there's not a whole lot we can do. The generator is currently shutting down. We kind of figured that might happen, given that I literally haven't been gathering up any coal. But I'm not too worried about it, given that, you know, it's still chilly. We were able to get people a little bit further along without too much issue. That said, what we can do is start pulling some people off and send them to go and gather coal over here when the time comes, and that will be fine. Okay, and in adaptation, I think we're going to go for the extended shifts, so we can turn on the longer work hours in the workshop. Now, nobody should plop over dead like they would if I use the emergency shift. It's usually at least one person will die, and I can't afford to lose any of my engineers, so I want the people in the workshops working longer hours, and this lets me get a little bit more out of them without too much issue. They work 14 hours a day, then they get a little sleep, and then they get right back to the grind. That's how it's going to work from here on out, ladies and gentlemen. Get used to it. Okay. So everyone should be gathering over here. No issue, no issue. We want to set these to extended work hours as well, so everyone is gathering what we can. Okay. We'll need to clear out some of these crates, but people are already working in these areas. We can do the same thing in all of the steel wreckage. Anything that I'm currently missing? Yes, the coal pile. We can go ahead and turn that on for longer hours as well. And the generator's off, but that's fine. Everyone's going off into the cold territory anyway. It really shouldn't matter all that much. We do want to place down probably another gathering post, and I'll do it temporarily right here, with the expectation that I will be getting rid of that. Let's turn off the workers of the steel wreckage, and they'll immediately come over here and start working on building up the gathering post, at which point I can pull these guys off and go work on something else. Only 8 people sick to start. Now, I've done this, I've done a couple of test runs on here to try and figure out the best strategy to make this all work. Usually I have a lot more people sick than this by now. So this definitely has already made a bit of a difference. Just trying to be more conservative and not having people use emergency shifts going off in the middle of nowhere. Okay, next things we have to get is absolutely the beacon. We have the faster gathering, so these gathering posts and everything should be working a lot faster than they were before, but we very, very badly need to get our beacon up and running. This wooden pile is not actually covered by any of my gathering posts, so I'm going to send some people over there. We're gathering up enough coal that I think we'll be able to run this generator tonight, but the temperature is going to be dropping a fair bit in the near future, and that's certainly going to make my life a lot harder. Tonight, we need to build some tents. There's no way around that. We have a promise that we need to fulfill. We have 1 day and 4 hours left to fulfill it. We have to do it tonight. That's going to require how much? About 80 wood. 80 wood? Okay, 80 wood before everyone gives up. Well, work time is almost over. Almost. And people are starting to get a little on the hungry side, so I'm going to need to get a cookhouse going pretty soon as well. I think that costs, what, 20 wood? Yeah, so we need to get to 100 tonight, if at all possible. We've now hit free time, but people are working longer shifts, so we're okay. That's 100. Perfect. Now, let's start by building up the tents before people get mad at me. We'll place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this. Okay, that's going to be all the houses that they're going to be building tonight, so fulfill our promise and get some hope up. And then after that, we need to get that cookhouse up and running. Now, where do I place this? It's a good question. Where do we place this? We could place it down, like, over here. If we leave some room for... but I'm not sure I want to do that. What about over here? We could potentially place a cookhouse, like, right here, and that's not a bad spot. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and place the cookhouse right there. I think that's fine. That said, I don't have enough lumber to do so, but we also won't be able to cook anything tonight anyway, because nobody's working right now. So we'll have a chance to get some roads placed down and get some people making rations. People are hungry, I know that. However, that's okay with me, because if people are hungry, they get discontented, but they won't starve to death. If, however, they ever reach starving, what they will do is start pillaging your raw food stores, at which point you are now losing out on potential rations. And that's very, very, very bad. So I can't let them go to starving, but I'm okay with them being hungry. That's not too big of a deal. Yes, let's turn on the generator. I know you guys want it on and stuff, blah, blah, blah. People are getting somewhat sick. Should be fine. We'll go ahead and turn this thing on for you. And we'll probably turn on the overdrive as well. We can introduce a new law. Now, the question is what to go for here. We could go for soup. And that would allow me to extend my food rations rather substantially, but it also causes a lot of discontent. And on extreme difficulty, that may not work out very well for me. However, if I were to have children start working some safe jobs, well, all of a sudden we can gather up a lot more resources. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that and send some more kids to go work over there. We still have 10 more capable of working. Where do I want to send them? Probably send at least 5 over to the steel wreckage, so we can start clearing this out. And I'm going to send 5 to the cookhouse tomorrow when that time comes. We can go ahead and do the extended hours over there as well. Yes, I see a lot of people are homeless, but we should be able to build up a lot of homes pretty quickly, right? Should be able to. Come on, guys, work with me here. Build up your homes. That way I don't get in trouble. We only have 16 hours left, plenty of time. There we go. Mission has been accomplished. Hope is going to rise. See, if we had actually done that preemptively, we wouldn't have gotten the free hope. And that doesn't work very well for me. Now, we do have a lot more people getting sick, unfortunately, but there's not a lot I can do about that right now, shy of building another post, which I can't do, given that we don't have... I can't build another medical post since I don't have enough engineers to run it anyway. People should be getting to work in things like the workshops. Okay, we just need to get a little lumber. I want to place down a road right here. There we go. Okay, so we'll have a street, and the temperature is now dropping. Okay. I still think we can afford to turn this off for now. It is cold, yes, but we have some housing. They're chilly, but no one's staying there. The beacon, however, is now done, and the beacon's very important to build, and I don't have quite enough lumber to do any more research right now, so... what can we do as far as getting some more lumber? Well, first off, this wooden crate should be working at all times. That's pretty important. And then beyond that, let's see. The gathering posts, chilly, but otherwise not quite as cold as it will be for other people. The beacon's going to cost me what? Will cost me 20 wood and 35 steel. Well, steel has not been the issue up to this point, but we definitely need to get our wood so that I can build the beacon next. Then we're going to need, I think it's 40... I do think it is 40. I think it's 40 lumber in order to get a scouting team together. Do I want to place the beacon way out here? I don't think I can really afford to do that. I would like to. However, it's going to result in a long road. If I could place it somewhere else that's still efficient, like maybe right here, this could kind of work. Maybe, sort of. We need to place some sawmills over here as well, so let's think around that a little bit. This might be okay. Let's see. Place kind of like this and just follow this grid right along here. Probably this will be okay. All right, we're going to try for this. Let's go ahead and build out. I don't have enough lumber yet. Okay. Yeah, lumber is going to be a problem. But I'm trying, dang it. So we're going to do this. We're going to build this out. I still need these gathering posts to be working. We're getting 2.3 wood per hour over there. Another 4.6 over here. 1.7 over here. And another... Nobody is working these wooden crates. Okay. Well... We'll need to free up 5 workers in just a little bit, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Having the kids working is certainly helping, yes, no doubt about it. We can get up to 40 by the time that this is done. Now that we have 40, I think we actually need to pull the workers off here. just so they'll get to work quickly setting up the roads and building the beacon right away, which is what they are actually doing right now. We have a new law available, and we need this. So what we're going to do now is go down to radical treatment and then to overcrowding. And the reason I want overcrowding is we can double up the capacity inside of my medical posts, which is very efficient in a map where you have only a few engineers. We could do sustain life, but that means that we're just going to have people get gravely ill during the storms and then be useless to us for the rest of the campaign. If we do radical treatment, yes, they'll become amputees, but maybe, just maybe, we will be able to eventually heal them up. Okay, so let's see. We want to create a scout team right away. And where am I going to go? Supply depot doesn't look too bad. Snow-covered supplies might have some food eventually, and then we have the abandoned sawmill over here. That will have a lot of lumber, which is highly tempting. Or we could go for whatever's closest, which in this case is a supply depot. And what I want to do is find some more people. I'm going to go to the supply depot. I'm hoping to find some survivors out here before the storm hits, because that's kind of my only way of increasing my population. Without more workers, we are definitely going to be in a bit of a rough patch. Let's take the children off the steel and send them over to the gathering post as well. Unfortunately, quite a few people are sick at the moment. And actually, something I should have done, and I didn't think about it, but this might come back to bite me. Before I sent out the scouts, I should have recycled some of the sick people who currently aren't working, and then we could have assigned them to become scouts. Sick people can become scouts, if you did not know that. It's a little ridiculous, I know. Let's pull the kids off of the cookhouse. We're okay-ish on coal. Let's send probably a few more to gather up from the wood piles. I know we are going to need all of that. We don't quite have enough steel to get another bridge, but that's going to be a priority. Let's see. As far as resources, I could really use a sawmill. And we're going to go ahead and do that with the intention of gathering up as much wood as quickly as we can. But we're going to have some temperature issues soon, and we'll need to get some more heating. Fortunately, with 2 workshops, I think we'll be able to go a little on the faster side, so that might be okay. Yes, I know the heating is off. Everyone gets real upset. They're all concerned because the heating is off. I get it. Lordy. You guys are so picky. Let's turn on that overdrive. Let's go ahead and make it a bit warmer for everybody involved. Have fun. If we had people working shorter shifts, there'd be less people getting sick. There's no doubt about that. The good news is everyone's getting some rations, so they should be okay. How are we doing in terms of patients? In a few hours, a few people will be getting back on their feet, and we can accept the next round of patients. The goal is to treat people before they are able to become gravely ill, because, you know, at that point, they become distinctly less useful to me. Distinctly less useful. Okay, plenty of resources still to go around in a lot of places. Now, the question we need to consider is, where are we going to expand? Now, I know right here is where we can place down a steelworks, and that's one of the few places I can get some more steel. Once we run out of steel piles to gather from, that's kind of it, and you need 150 steel in order to build a bridge. So that will end up being very, very important for me. Question is, do we need to do it right away? If we go over, let's say, here, there's another, let's see, it's unavailable, but I'm sure it's another pile of 60. So there's 180 steel over here. We can build a bridge right here safely, and we will have enough steel to then gather up, build up another bridge eventually. We also access some more wooden crates and some much-needed space. That's not bad, especially since I'm probably not going to have the steelworks researched right away. I am, however, very concerned by the fact that we still have this many people who are currently sick. Could really use some more engineers, huh? Yeah, wouldn't that be great? That would be very, very, very nice, but we don't have that option. We don't have that luxury. Still, we're treating people fairly quickly, all things considered. These guys are doing a very, very good job. I'm proud of them. You're all being a bunch of troopers, and hope is actually surprisingly high, all things considered. This is only going to get better once we can actually use overcrowding laws, and we'll be able to actually get people doubled up in the medical post. This gathering post is done. Let's go ahead and strip that down. We don't need anything from them. We are going to need to get some more supplies soon in terms of food. We don't have a lot of raw food left. Still, let's see, 15 workers available. We're stripping that down, no problem. We're okay-ish on coal, I think. And we're okay over here in terms of these wooden crates. These guys are doing a good job. So what we can do, probably, is start getting out these wooden crates a little faster, with the expectation that I am going to be trying to set up some sawmills over here. Now let's go to adaptation and go for the overcrowding. So we're going to double up our medical capacity, which is very, very nice for us. So now we can have 10 people treated for 5 engineers, which, you know, I mean, that I don't need to tell you, that doubles what we were capable of before. So that's just great. Okay, we are still working on the sawmill tech, which is going to be a great source of lumber for me very soon. We do need to get some heaters going, I think, pretty quick. Let's see, child injured at work. We're going to scold the child for being careless, since, you know, it is the child's fault and they're not, you know, life-threateningly injured or anything. Sawmill is done. With the temperature about to drop, I think we need to go for the heaters. I hate to do it, because it's going to use up a lot of precious coal, but I think we haven't got much of a choice. We kind of need to do things like that. We also need to go ahead and get ourselves a hunter's hut, and I might set one up over here. This seems like a good spot. It doesn't take a lot of insulation to hunt, and we need to start getting some more food rations, or we will have a problem. These guys just finished up their job somewhere else. We can go ahead and clear out this steel wreckage pretty quickly. Need to get some sawmills set up pretty soon. Scouts have already arrived at the supply depot. Okay, there is some raw food and some wood, both things we very badly need. There's a buried hamlet over this direction. There might be survivors. It's a small settlement, half buried in the snow. Yeah, we're going to go there, and it's not even too far away from the Scar. We'll be able to send people back and hopefully get some more much-needed workers. So I like doing that. I like doing that a lot. And by the way, having this generator off, I know it can get a lot of discontent and make some people sick, but we're stockpiling a lot of coal at a time when I'm going to need a lot to heaters in just a little bit. May also have no choice but to use the emergency shifts pretty soon if we are not quick. We'll see. Let's just go ahead and build this up quickly. People are going to go out and build something. What's going on over here? Yes, yes, the heating's off, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's upset. Let's turn it on. There we go. Heating's on. Thank you. You're all happy now. See, they're all pretty comfortable. I mean, nice livable conditions. And we're going to have to leave that generator on for the foreseeable future. All right, let's see. We need to pull some workers off to go and get some rations. We can pull adult workers off of this wood pile and a few off of the steel. And then we will send all 15 over to the hunter's hut. And they will gather up some much-needed food. Okay, so every day we'll get some extra rations, which is good. We're not quite hungry yet, but we will be soon. We will be very, very soon. All right. Are we doing okay right now? I think we're doing sort of okay. Could we be doing better? Absolutely we could be doing better, but I think this is all right. This is sort of okay. A sawmill is something I'm going to do as soon as this stuff is cleared out. What we could do is start building out some... we could start building out some bridges right about now. I'm questioning whether we want this. We're not going to get to deal with, like, street lamps and stuff at all. This stuff is just not useful on endurance mode. We could build some more workshops. If I'm going to get some more engineers at the next site, we could do that, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm very tempted to say what we should do is get another medical post going, because this would allow me to pull off some workers from research. As much as I do want this, it might be more important to start treating the other 10, so we can have more people out working right now, especially since we're starting to go gravely over our capacity. So yeah, I think that might be the way to go. All right, we're going to get 11 more food rations per day. If we were to research, let's say, some extra hunting tools, we'd be able to speed that up. Let's go ahead and assign some more engineers to the medical post. That's another 10 people that we will be able to treat. Okay, and we should be able to start getting on top of our healthcare a little bit more. Temperature is about to drop pretty substantially. A protective mother. Sorry, we can't make any exceptions. No, you are not allowed to prevent your daughter from going to work. Everybody needs to pull their fair weight. I know that children don't have a lot of weight, but that's why I don't ask much of them. They all get to work the very nice and safe jobs. It is extremely cold in these environments, and we probably cannot afford to have anybody working over here anymore. So we're going to have to pull all of those guys back. The coal piles over here still aren't looking great. If I were to quickly set up another gathering post, let's say right here, we can get 10 more people to be gathering from both of these, and they'll still be fairly insulated. I need to get the heaters up and running, but I'm doing the best I can there. Let's see. There's nothing else for me to do over here right now. Let's see. With 15 more... Well, we got children and we got adults. It looks like a couple people did indeed become gravely ill because I don't have the heat that I need. If I turn on the overdrive real quick, that fixes that, so we can start treating them again. No, it doesn't say that. No. No one is in palliative care right now. Everyone's sort of okay. We're getting it. We're getting it. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, the researchers need to hurry up and get the heaters done. Basically, I don't see any other way around that. Okay, I could actually build another gathering post right here. We could double up on this area, and we could double up on this area. And this will let me start gathering from everywhere a little bit faster, which I think is gonna be necessary if I want to get enough materials. Come on, everybody, get to it, get to it. You're all doing great. Heaters are researched. Okay, we're gonna have to use up a lot of coal, but this does prevent some people from getting sick in the gathering posts. And I'm gonna leave the overdrive on the generator for a bit, because I don't need to turn that down. Let's assign some children here, turn on the heat. Okay. Everyone should be in more or less good-ish conditions. They're not completely frozen, which is something. We do want to start researching probably the steam hub next, so we'll be able to get some heat in a few key areas. We have a little bit of raw food. I mean a little bit. It's not a lot, is it? We can temporarily turn on the cookhouse. Nobody's starving, are they? That's not a lot of raw food. I would have thought we would get more from the hunter's hut, but apparently not. And actually, even with the heater on, we can't use the cookhouse. Oh, that's what we call unfortunate. Okay, the steel wreckage over here is done. That's good. What we can do now is start placing down sawmills, like right here. And this will let me start gathering up a lot more lumber. We have enough steel. We're going to build a bridge over here soon. I just need some more lumber to make this one work. And what's wrong now? Long hours. Nope. I don't care if you got long hours. I know that sucks, but you're just going to have to grin and bear it, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's going to have to happen. We could actually place another sawmill right over here, and I think that doubling up is not a bad idea, and we'll do that right here to start getting as much wood going as possible. Temperature is going to be rising in a few hours. The overdrive can last for a bit longer, no problem. And in the buried hamlet, we did find some survivors. There are mostly just children. Well, the good news is we can use children, so that's okay. We're going to escort these guys to the city. That's 11 more engineers, which means I can operate 2 medical posts and 3 workshops pretty safely without any issue. Yeah, let's escort these guys. This should speed things up. We're going to get them over as fast as we can. Then we will send them back out. And I think this is going to have to be where we end our first video. So, I wouldn't say we're in the absolute best situation. There's a few things that we're struggling with. Partly food. We'll need to get ourselves another hunter lodge kind of quickly. We may want to do that, like, now, actually. Can I fit this anywhere convenient? Not really. I may want to temporarily place one out over, like, let's say here. Yeah, let's build a hunter's lodge over here. I'm going to send 15 workers to go and gather some more food rations since we're currently struggling on that. And then as long as we can continue gathering safely over here, I think we're fine. I'm actually going to cancel this gathering post. I don't think we need it since all that's left is a bit of lumber from right here. And once these sawmills are up and running, that should easily be enough lumber to keep me going. We'll set up over here, gather all these resources, and then we'll go for another bridge off in this direction. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.